Yay Media Group.
All right, welcome back. We're still reeling from the dryer story. It's always something, huh?
Always. Well, in my head, I'm sorry.
I didn't mean for you to keep going.
Hey guys, episode 165. I was rushing home. I had the kids at this water park. Jeff, the perks of his job, got me free tickets. Thanks, Jeff.
Shout out Great Day, Colorado.
Yeah. Thanks, sales team at Great Day, Colorado, for getting me these tickets. They did give me a hard time at first.
They did?
Yeah, they were like, how did you get these tickets? And I was like, I don't know, my husband. And
I
she's
gave
like,
you that long PIN
I did.
number.
I showed him the email. And then I just handed him my phone. I was like, this is the email. I got my confirmation. It said everything on it. And then I was like, I don't know. Somebody at my husband's work got them for me.
Well, you're coming in hot. Jordan just came here 5 seconds ago.
I've been stuck in traffic for an hour. The water park's an hour away. And stuck in traffic. And I was like, I need to get home by 5:30. I changed out of my wet bathing suit and got the kids food. I did stop and get them food and then came here exactly at 5:30.
That's good. So you're ready to go, have something to talk about. Was the person who wouldn't let you in 15, by the way?
Yeah.
Were they?
Yeah. And then she was like, I'm going on my lunch. And then the guy took over. She didn't even care because today's the last day for the water park. I think then it's open on the weekends that you can go. So I was like, you're in high school. Why do you care?
Because everyone's going back to school.
Mm-hmm, and Lawson and Layton kept asking me. They were like, what's taking so long, Mom? I was like, I don't know. It's high schooler. They're not letting me in.
And then how'd they finally let you in? They just gave up?
Some guy took over. And then he actually took the time, typed it in. And he's like, who's the email from? I was like, I don't know. I was like, some salesperson.
I've sent you the email, though, too.
I showed him. I said, that lady right there. I go, that's her email. And they just asked me all these questions. And so whatever, we got in. But you know what? I would have been mad if I would have paid full price because half the park wasn't even open. So we could only use the lower end of the park, and all the rides that our kids love were shut down.
Oh, and you wanted full price for that?
Well, I didn't have to pay full price, but one of our neighbor friends had to pay full price for a ticket. And I was like, I would have been mad.
Oh, I would have been mad.
But me and the boys already went that one time and I paid to go in and we spent all day there. Y'all, I feel so bad. So we had some of our other people in our area there. So there was a big group. We had 2 cabanas and it was just like chaos. Every parent was going one way. One kid is going another way. So I had one of my friend's kids with us and then one of my neighborhood friends and her son. And we all divided it so it's equal, so we can all ride together. No one's left out riding by themselves. So I asked one of the kids who's a little bit smaller than Layton, I'm like, oh, you rode this ride? And he goes, oh, it's so much fun. And I go, oh, okay, because he's shorter than Layton, smaller. And I was like, Layton will be fine. We get on this ride, and it's a water ride, right?
Yeah.
But it shoots you forward, and you go flying.
Were you with Layton?
Oh, yeah. It was me, Layton, and my friend's son. And he's in the middle, and the heaviest has to get in the back, and the second heaviest has to sit up front. Well, Layton wanted to sit in the middle, but he had to sit in the front because he's the second heaviest. I'm like, Layton, it's fine. I was like, Benny thinks this ride's awesome. And he's smaller. And we go, shooting. I was like, oh my gosh. As we start, I'm like, Layton is not going to like this. The tunnel gets dark. Then you drop. All I could hear was Layton crying. I was like, I felt so bad because I couldn't hold him. And then when we get off, he's crying. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. He's like, I hate that ride. But I was like, I'm so proud of you. You were so brave. 5 seconds later, he goes, can we go back in line? I want to do that ride again. So I think it was just the shock.
Yeah.
But I wasn't ready for it. And he goes, I didn't like the part because you popped up in the air when you were going down
What did they do?
hills.
Shoot a thing of water behind you?
Yeah, there's all this water going and then it just shoots the float.
That sounds awesome.
You go flying. So yeah, anyways, I made my kid cry again on one of the rides, but he loved it. And then while we were waiting in line, I knew he was tired because he wanted me to hold him. And while he's standing in line, I was dying. It was so hot. The sun's shining on you. And then Leighton's not light at all.
No, he's a big boy.
Yeah,
but
so I held
he
him.
gets like that, though. I'm glad.
When he's tired.
Well, no, not like that. I meant like, he gets scared of things that he's not used to, but you got to push those boundaries a little bit. Not saying you have to put him in danger, but even when we go to those climbing parks and things like that, it takes him a while to get to the top. But then when he does or jump off of something, he's very proud, you know?
Yeah.
So it's incremental. You know what I mean? Like you got to work up to that, but he'll push those limits being careful, but that's good for him, I think.
Yeah. And it was funny though, because the lifeguard goes, I'm so sorry. Cause he was like, ah, crying. And then Lawson, one of our friends, okay, this is not an ad, by the way. My friend got me hooked on this. So one of our friends.
That looks like Cheese Whiz.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Okay, if you're watching, you'll see what I'm talking about. Tricked Lawson and told Lawson to put it on. And it's got shimmer and sparkle, but it comes out like whip.
You can't eat it?
No. And I almost ate it at one time. And it's the best sunscreen, you guys. Look, I'm again, this isn't an ad. You get it at Target. It's $22. Make sure you get the bronze lid. But Lawson put it all over his body, and he looked like a big sparkle when I could spot him.
You went upstairs to get that to show on the podcast?
It's the best sunscreen. It's so good. Somebody out there will want it. It's SPF 30. I wore it today.
Maybe we should have called them and asked them to sponsor this instead of giving it out for free.
It's Classic Whip, you guys. So
get yourself some Cheese Whiz for the summer.
And it makes you have this pretty shimmer, like when you go out.
It does smell good. It smells like a beach down here.
Look, see that? You don't like sparkles.
Yeah.
But,
I can't be
So that's
shimmered.
my day. What about you?
None. I got home not too long ago. I ate some leftovers that were in there. My sea bass. That's for a couple of days old.
I don't know how you eat leftover fish and like
reheat so that. Good.
It's just is extra smelly.
And then nothing. I just worked all day. Just worked all day. And then I came home and watched a little Alone. I was catching up on that show. You haven't watched this year.
I haven't, no.
I love that show. If you guys haven't seen the show Alone, we've talked about it in the past, but it's the best. I love catching up on it. But I don't know why our stupid DVR or whatever it is, some shows, our cable's so weird and I hate it. I'm getting rid of cable. We're going to YouTube TV. It's official.
I just called and got our stuff lowered. I thought we were keeping it.
Well, I don't like that. I have my phone, right?
You can't fast forward. I told you.
And I have the Xfinity app. So I just stream everything through my phone. But sometimes, I don't know if there's a lot of recordings, our DVR isn't stuffed up.
No, it says it's on demand, but it records, but it's on demand and you can't fast forward. Because I told you that. I was
if you watch it on demand, you can't fast forward. But it should be on our list on the DVR on my phone.
Oh.
And for some reason, Alone is only down here because that's where the DVR is with the remote. So you could pay for another remote and things like that. It's like $10 extra a month, but I could just stream it through my app. So why would I do that? So we have our remote and stuff down here because our apartment, it's like a little apartment down here. So when people come over, I want them to be easier for them, rather be easier for us upstairs. But anyways, long story short, I don't know why it wasn't on my DVR app upstairs. So I was down here watching Alone. So if it smells like fish. It's
nice because it's cooler down here and it's just like a cave. It's
nice.
It
feels great though.
Yeah, it feels so good. It's really hot outside. Kids start school tomorrow.
Yeah, so I was going to catch people up. It's Tuesday. If you're listening, it's Wednesday there. And we do have an announcement that we want to make. If you guys do watch our Big Brother bonus episode or our Together Mess bonus episode, whatever you want to call it, that's usually on Fridays. We're switching it to Thursdays now. So it's going to be Thursdays at 5 or at 8:30 at night Mountain Time. So Thursdays, 8:30 p.m. Mountain Time. I know we're kind of neglecting the West Coast because it's still going to be airing over there, but we have a couple of things coming up. So we're going to be doing that after show on Thursdays now. So it's going to be good because we're going to come in fresh. It's still going to be live if you guys want to join us. A lot of you, from the mountain time moving back east, we'll all be done with the show. So if you guys want to jump on YouTube, it's Jeff and Jordan TV, and you guys could jump on live with your questions. It'll be nice because we're just coming off the episode and you're kind of excited if it's a good week. Like, oh, I can't believe that happened. So we're going to be doing that moving forward on Thursdays. If we get a good response, we're going to keep it like that. If not, we'll bounce back to Fridays. But we want to test the waters and see how that does. And, you know, we'll come in fresh with all of our questions.
Yeah, I'm excited.
And you guys come in fresh with your questions as well.
I'm a little emotional and nervous for tomorrow. I don't know why, because the kids are going to school today. They had their open house. It was a weird time. I thought it was a weird time. 8 a.m. they had it, and it was for 2 hours, 8 to 10. And just being in the classroom, putting all their stuff in their desk and all the little kids. And there's a lot of new families at our school this year, and just seeing like all the faces. And that makes me sad too, because I don't know any of the younger kids past the kindergarten class this year. And now that lets me know like everybody's getting older, because it's all the COVID babies this year that are entering kindergarten.
Oh,
and so like our neighbor, I remember when she was pregnant with her daughter, and when we moved in our house, and I'm like, they're all going to kindergarten, and they're so cute, and they all seem so little this year, like so much smaller.
Were the boys nervous today or
Lawson,
no?
I think, is nervous.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because he keeps asking me like questions about school, and he's like, math is really hard. I don't know my times tables. And I go, well, that's what third grade. You learn that in third grade. I love third grade and sixth grade. First grade, third grade, and sixth grade. I loved my teachers. And third grade, I remember the way my teacher taught timetables. I loved doing them. And then her cursive, she would like play around and teach us cursive. And it was just a good time.
Do they still teach cursive? Do they learn cursive?
I think they do. But they have to, right? Because you have to like know how to sign your name.
I don't know.
Like on a check, you have to. But
do they still use checks?
I don't even think. I think we're the only ones that use checks.
We're?
I do.
Yeah, you.
I know. I listen, it's safe. Me and retired neighbor are always talk about that.
Well, the thing I like about checks is that that automatic payment, everything I have is on automatic payment.
I don't like automatic
But if you don't
payment.
notice something's wrong,
It
or
keeps
you know what I
going.
mean? They just keep taking money out.
I know.
You know, and then you have to go back and say, wait a second, this was wrong. And they just take the money out. I hate that. And they know that too. They know that, you know?
Yeah, that's why I've never, ever done automatic payment. Because I just
I bet the companies are making a ton of money getting away from checks.
For sure.
Because, you know, your cable bill like ours just jumps up and you don't know it unless you're keeping track of your finances, you know? So you have to take a look at every single bill that comes in. And then if you go paperless, which is another option they give you.
I don't go paperless either.
Then you don't even see the mail anymore, and you really have to go in your bank account unless they send you a receipt. So it's a lot to keep track of.
Like when I pay our energy bill, they always ask on my thing about paperless and just have the app. I'm like, nope.
See, I do. I just feel like it's easier all around. Otherwise, I forget.
I think
and then you get penalized for forgetting, and the check didn't get there on time. And I'm like, so pick your poison.
No, I save everything. I think I have like our bills, our statement bills from like 2020.
Yeah, you got to get rid of some of those because they're clogging up the desk. I don't
throw
over there.
any of that away, because if something ever happened, I can be like, nope, back in 2020, I paid this.
All right, well, let's take a break, and we'll try to pick up the energy over here. We've been talking about routines a lot lately and getting back into them and everything going on in our daily lives. And I'm sure your lives at home, there's a lot going on.
One thing, though, that has stayed routine through the summer and then will continue through the rest of the year is drinking our AG1. I love AG1. I use it for energy, for gut health.
Yeah, it's got the prebiotics, the probiotics, all the vitamins you need for your daily life. And it's something that we have done routine, like Jordan said.
And make sure you use your vitamin D3, K2 in your AG1. I do that every morning. 4 ounces of water, 1 scoop of my AG1 vitamin D3 K2.
You feel good about it. And I bring my water bottle, my AG water bottle on the planes, and people stop me and they ask me about it.
You're really good about bringing the travel packs.
Because I bring them for daily use, and I also bring them on the plane if I'm not feeling good.
We have all our friends and family buying it, and both of us are super excited about AG1. They came out with a variety of new flavors. We just got some in the mail, so I'm excited to try the citrus.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the berry. So if you were ever worried about the taste of it, your daily health drink just got more flavorful. If you use our link, drinkag1.com/togetherness, you'll get a free welcome kit worth $76 when you subscribe, including 5 AG1 travel packs, a shaker, canister, and a scooper. That's drinkag1.com/togetherness to try out those new flavors and get a free welcome kit.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Yeah, I've been talking about my hip for like a year.
Oh, from kickball?
From kickball. It's still like sitting like this.
Hurts?
It still hurts.
Go to the doctor.
I think I have to. Once my company gives me insurance.
Who do you go to? I know. I told one of his news people at his work, I go, tell Kayla, she's a doctor I go, tell her I'm coming back to her once I get good insurance.
We have insurance, but I just pay it out of pocket now. But long story.
Really
I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to get into that whole thing with my work. Somebody will come scoop me up. I love my job, but somebody will give me insurance and scoop me up at some point. I'm hoping. If not,
there you go.
I could work at Waterworld.
Do you want to take some voicemails because we haven't taken any?
Yeah, before we get there, you know what? I wanted to ask you a question because speaking of work, when we were at work today, in the afternoon, we just have the TV on, and just whatever's playing while we're writing our scripts and stuff. And Friends is always on, so it's kind of like distracting but comforting, at the same time, because I don't know about you, but I've watched like every episode of Friends, but it's from so long ago.
I think I've maybe seen 5 episodes
total?
Of Friends. Yeah.
Are you serious?
My mom never liked it, and she never watched it, and so I never got into it.
It's always on like reruns,
Always.
like growing up.
I think it's on like Nickelodeon or Disney or something.
And it's something
like
just to pop on the TV. Like I thought I was a bigger Seinfeld fan. Like I know everything. I still watch Seinfeld once in a while, go to sleep. But Friends, I kind of know everything too. I didn't realize that I watched like every episode, subconsciously somehow. And I remember every episode. But going back to that, some of those jokes, it was only the 2000s, when that show was on, or earlier, like the 90s to 2000. And some of those jokes, like every day, I'm like, I can't believe they said that. Just like being a super hyper aware in today's society, about
But that's what they need
things.
to get back to. That's why, actually, when I was in line at the water park, me and a neighbor friend were talking, and she was saying, and we both have different beliefs in what we think of things. And I love that she's so open and I'm so open. We have such great discussion when we talk. And she said, we were talking about late night shows and how they are getting canceled. And I go, they're not funny anymore. Said, and she goes, they turn everything political into, and that's kind of like everything we've been talking about these past episodes. And I go, that's on them. That's these networks. They follow this agenda, and people you want to relax at night and laugh. You don't want to think about the world. You don't want to think about your job, what you need to do, your kids, all the chores, everything. You want to just let your mind go and laugh.
Yeah.
And you can't do that with those shows. I don't think Jimmy Fallon, Jimmy Kimmel, Stephen Colbert, is that other British guy still on, or is he gone?
Oh,
he was like a British guy.
Oh no, from I know you're like talking about Carpool Karaoke guy.
Yeah,
no, he's been gone.
Yeah. Whatever happened to him? I didn't even know.
What the heck's his name?
That's how out of tune I am with that. But her and I were both talking today about just certain shows, and then she goes, "Is Entertainment Tonight canceled?" And we were both saying how we used to watch certain shows, and I go, I don't even watch anymore. I don't even think it's good.
Yeah, TV in general. I agree with you.
The quality's not good. I agree with you.
But just watching it every day, going back to Friends, it's nothing like crazy. You know what I mean? It's just old school jokes, like Monica's nickname in high school, Big Fat Goalie. You know, like that episode just came on.
But you can't say that.
Yeah, just things like that you're not allowed to say. But everybody talks like that in their own little groups, depending on what it's on. Not meaning
like
big
I
fat
was the icebox.
But yeah, like you're like everyone has that conversation in their own groups. No matter what it is, it doesn't have to be specific to friends. But everybody talks like that, and every race, culture, creed, everybody, sexuality. You're making fun of somebody from outside your different culture. It's been that way since the beginning of time.
I think normal people still do.
They still do, but
people, you just can't post about it because somebody's going to get offended. Or if you are a somebody, you can't post anything like that because then you will get labeled and called something.
Yeah, but it wasn't that long ago. You know what I mean?
I know.
It's so crazy.
But that's just how things have just evolved and changed. And
I know. I just like was in my head, and I work with 2 like young kids. You know what I mean? They're like in their late 20s, early 30s, so they're very like hip to what's going on. And like one girl, one of our producers, is always like, "Oh, did they just say that?" You know, like she's a good girl, you know, but I'm like, yeah. And then the other producer is like young, and he laughs. He's like, but it's funny, you know.
People
He's
now.
like, it's funny.
If I was thinking about this the other day, because I'll see all these memes about the 80s, and people now would not survive the 80s, like kids growing up now, because they're so sensitive in the 80s and 90s, because people smoking cigarettes at your birthday party, and like while you're blowing out your candles, you could just do whatever you want, and people would just laugh. You can't do none of that.
Yeah. But then I already hear the other side in my ear. They're like, well, it wasn't great for everybody during the 80s or 90s. Yeah, I get it, man. I'm so over society and like all the Sydney Sweeney, you can't wear jeans or my jeans bullshit.
Did I say this?
That thing is, all that stuff is kind of faded away from me. You know, I go to work and do my job on television. I don't have to say any of that stuff, but I think the fatigue is real. I think the fatigue of like, I do the same thing, but it's funny to go laugh once in a while. I mean, the Tom Brady roast kind of explains everything.
I love
it's
that.
just funny to laugh. You know what I mean? Take it in stride. Everyone, every culture, every sexuality, every race has something funny that they could say about themselves. You know what I mean? There's something funny. And I think humor is at least where I'm going to go. You know what I mean? Because I've been so sad and depressed lately. It's like, you know, motivation and positivity and humor. Something that we haven't talked about is you need to laugh. It's such a big part of life, is to laugh, not only, you know, making fun of people. That's not the best thing, you know, making them feel bad. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about laughing at yourself. You know what I mean? Get over yourself. Get over life's hard. There's a lot of obstacles. No matter what you are, you're going to run into something. Just laugh at it. Laugh at it. You know, and move on. So that's I'm just getting my mind right, listening to different positivity books. I'm listening to a great one right now, re-listening to it. Let me look, because I was just listening to it. If anyone's ever heard of this, it's called The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield.
Oh,
I know Joe Rogan actually turned me on to it way back in the day, but I'm listening to it again, and it's really helping me.
Good.
You know what I mean? Like, so many obstacles that we put in our own way, just in our own head, or society drills into you, thinking that's the way it is, and then am I racist? Am I sexist? You know what I mean? It's all these obstacles that people put in your head, and you got to know who you are. Just like I said, laugh at yourself and know I'm not that person. And, you know, I live by the golden rule: treat others the way you want to be treated. You know, if someone treats you like shit, I don't give a shit who you are. I'm going to treat you like shit, and you could call me whatever you want, but that's the rule. If you treat me nice, I'm going to treat you nice. You know, kindness is the way to go. But I don't know.
You're always kind.
Right. But you know what I mean? The outside world, all the people the small percentage that rant and rave about friends, it's like, man, get over it. There's way worse things in life.
I don't know if I said this in the last podcast or if I said this to a friend, but there's this video on Instagram going around, and the video shot like 80s, and these kids on bikes. It's like, hey, welcome back to 1984. I don't remember exactly the year it said, but I think it was like 1984. I heard you guys got phones now, and you're always on your phone and tablets.
Wait, hold on. What? It's a show that they're
No. It's a video. It's a video just telling, like, as if you went back to 1984. Let's say it's 1984, and you're talking to kids in 1984, and you're present, and you're going to the past, and you're saying, hey, welcome to 1984. I heard you guys just play on tablets and stuff. We're out here riding our bicycles. I heard, it was talking about all like the awesome things about the 80s and then the things that kids are missing out now because there's so much technology and social media.
Where is this on? What are you talking about?
It's on social media. Did I tell? I don't know. Or maybe I didn't say that. I was talking to some friends about it and I love the video. I think it's so cute because.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't need to see a video to understand what you're saying. I just rather live it. You know what I mean? Get off the phone. Like, I think the mountains is going to do us good. I'm pretty excited about going to the mountains this weekend. Get out in nature, get away from the phones. The kids, I think our biggest problem is our kids. Like, look out the window. We live in beautiful Southern Colorado. Like, we go through the mountains all the time. Look outside. Stop playing on the phone. You know what I mean? Start enjoying life a little bit. It's not about tabloids, whatever
the
you said.
Inquirer?
No, not tabloids. You know what I mean?
Tablets.
Yeah. Tablets, yeah, and social media and things like that, because that's going to be a problem. Lawson's very sensitive, and if he did see something, our kids don't have a phone or social media.
They use my phone now. I feel like they've taken over, but it definitely assures me that they are not getting a phone for a very, very, very long time for how much they are addicted to my phone, calling friends, playing games with friends on my phone, FaceTiming friends. Like, it's too much.
Yeah.
Is that mine?
I think so. I don't know what that is.
I thought I turned it off. I'm sorry, guys.
Jordan has her phone on all the time, and it drives me crazy. What do you have it on for?
Because I need it. Because
you need it for what?
Because one of the kids were in line with me, and they had to leave to go to open house, and I had
every day, all day, at night.
Yes, because sometimes I need to get to my phone. Somebody's calling. The people with, oh my gosh. That reminded me.
Your brother's telling you that somebody's dead that's not really dead?
No, I forgot to tell you guys about the dryer. That's what I forgot to share.
I don't know if they want to hear about the dryer.
Well, I had to send it back. But
go ahead, tell your dryer story.
Okay. So the guy comes, our dryer, well, y'all know if you follow me on Instagram, I did a poll about our dryer dying. And everybody told me to get what is it called? The Queen. It's like the Queen something. I can't think right now. Like, my brain is mush. Dryer. And so I was like, okay, I'm getting it. And I'm not even joking. Pretty much every single person said to get this dryer. Then the sales guy at the appliance store told me he had this dryer.
Well, now you need to find the name of the dryer.
I'm finding my neighbor that texts me. Because she goes, Speed Queen. That's what it's called. Speed Queen. Nothing fancy about it, right? On the outside, it looks like a dryer from 1995. Basic, white, nothing.
How many buttons do you need to dry something? Why is everything Bluetooth connected?
Now everything looks super fancy.
I know. I didn't even see this dryer that you're talking about. But why do they need 50 buttons that's Bluetooth?
Because it just looks,
I guess it looks blue, nice. And it's all, dry it. Just dry it.
Yeah. So, our dryer broke. I go there. I get it because everybody on Instagram and my neighbor text me and go, get Speed Queen. So I was like, because Tony listens to this podcast. Tony's wife wrote me too. So I go there and they're not cheap. If you saw how it looked, you would think it's like a $400 dryer. And they're like $1,300, $1,200, depending on what you get. Well, he told me the one that, he goes, I actually have one. It's brand new, but cosmetically, it's got like a scratch on it. It's probably from them just moving it around. And he goes, if you take that one, I'll give you $250 off. And I was like, okay.
And Jordan called me.
I called him. I was like, is that okay if I get this one? He said it's brand new, never been used. Jeff goes, yeah, $250 off. So the guy comes to deliver it. So sweet. They put it together super fast because I paid extra. Because after dealing with our other dryer, taking it apart and everything, I was like, I don't want to do anything with it. I want somebody to do it for me. So I paid extra to have somebody install it. And he starts running it. And I go, is this thing really that loud? And then the guy told me, he goes, honestly, I install these all the time and it never sounds like this. It was louder than our other dryer when it was loud, when it was broke. And so I told him, I go, this thing sounds broke. He goes, well, maybe it's the wheel. I'll have the technician come out. And I told him, I said, well, let me call the lady at the appliance store that has been helping me And I go, you call your boss. I go, can I tell the lady at the appliance store what you told me? Because I don't want to get you in trouble. And so he goes, yeah, no, tell her what I said. He goes, because this doesn't ever sound this loud. So the lady goes, yes, tell him to take it, put it in the truck. We'll send you a brand new one, like another one, which it is brand new, but they're just going to send another one. And his boss was like, no, tell her to keep it. We'll send a technician. And then the lady heard, they were both on speaker, and the lady at the store was like, no, do not do that, or it's going to be 10 times harder to get your dryer back. So, or get like a new dryer. So then the guy, we're like talking. I go, what do we do? I go, take it back. I feel so bad because you guys brought this thing up here. And he was like, don't worry about it. He goes, I wouldn't want this dryer. And I was like, I appreciate your honesty. And if I only had a 50 on me, and I never have, and you know why I had a 50 on me?
Because I gave it to you?
No, Big Sexy. Every time he leaves town, he leaves me a 50. He's always done that.
That's why you carry cash.
I just don't like carrying cash at all. And I would have bought his lunch I appreciate just the honesty. And anyways, now we got to wait till Monday to get a new dryer. So we're going to be drying our clothes at Retired Neighbors.
Well, he's not even in town, so we be using his dryer. All right, let's take a break after that dryer story. All right, welcome back. We're still reeling from the dryer story. It's always something, huh?
Always. Well, in my head, I'm sorry.
I didn't mean for you to keep going.
No, I don't mean to be negative. But with everything that's this whole year, I go, of course I would buy a $1,200 dryer and it wouldn't work. And they got to send it back.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, you got to get that out of your head. You know what I mean? Like, problems arise.
I know, I'm
it's
being
not
negative.
The world coming down on you and God's like, you know what? I think I'm going to give her a fucked up dryer too. That's not what's happening. It's all in your head. You know what it is?
I bought I wanted the $250 off, and somebody probably dropped it and broke it and then just slid it in there.
No, someone probably put like a boulder in there and then it broke and they're like, yeah, it just scratched the outside.
Well,
it's fine.
For a second, I was like, maybe I could just live with this. And then I was downstairs and it was like, I was like, oh, I can't do this. No.
That's exactly what ours was.
Yeah,
doing.
exactly.
Yeah. Anyways, I want to get back to this Friends thing because I think everyone out there kind of watched Friends and we were having a fun discussion at work. I love having discussions in the debates where they don't end with me being homophobic or racist because that's the end of the conversation. You know what I mean? Because everything today is political. And if you're not winning the argument, you could just throw out your racist and the conversation's over. So we were having the discussion about the break. Do you ever watch the episode when Ross and Rachel break up?
Oh, that was like a big thing.
It was a huge thing.
Okay.
Right?
Uh-huh.
So we were rewatching it. And it was a 2-part episode. And I was like, who do you think's in the wrong here? You know? And they were younger kids. And they were saying, well, I think, and if you guys don't know the story, I'll break it down for you real fast. Because this was a good debate to have. Again, I'm thinking not now that we're married. I'm thinking, think back to like when you're in your 20s. Okay? So Ross and Rachel are dating. Here's the outline in case you guys didn't remember it or didn't watch Friends. But I'm sure everyone knew about the break. So we're going to revisit it. Ross and Rachel were dating and Rachel got this new job, that she always wanted. And it was their anniversary, but they were working too much. And Ross was very suspicious of Rachel's boss, this guy, Mark, who kind of has a crush on Rachel. And he was kind of like, fearful that they might have something going on. He's this good looking guy at the office. They're there all day, So Ross gets a dinner put together like in a picnic basket, brings it, surprises Rachel. She canceled their anniversary dinner, brings the picnic basket to Rachel's work. Okay. Do you think that's a nice gesture?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Some things happen. He lights some things on fire and he's loud with the pepper shaker. Take that out of the conversation. Okay. The gesture was nice. He brought dinner to her because she couldn't leave. She kicks him out of the office. She goes, get out of here. I got work to do. So he waits for her back at the apartment. So they're fighting about like Mark, that guy. And then she's like, I need to focus on my career. I don't have time for this. You come in here doing all this stuff. So he goes, all right, let's just cool off. Okay, let's cool off. Let's take, and she goes, and let's take a little break. And she goes, yeah, you know what? You're right. we should take a break. And he stops. He goes, and she goes, from each other.
Oh.
Okay. So let me keep going now.
Okay.
I'm on Team Ross, just so you guys know, but this is a fun debate to see which side you're on. And I had my office split because we kept telling people when they were coming in, like, whose side are you on? They're like, I could see your side a little bit. And they're like, no, I'm Team Rachel now. So he goes, let's take a break. So he goes out to this party with Joey and Chandler, and they're meeting up with this copy girl, whatever. And they're having some beers, and he calls her. At this time, it was a payphone. There are no cell phones.
That sounds so weird, right?
Yeah. So he goes and calls her. And meanwhile, while he calls her, Rachel's boss calls Rachel, the one that Ross is suspicious of, that guy Mark, and goes, are you okay? And she was crying. She goes, I don't think I'm okay. He goes, I'm bringing over Chinese food. Never been to her apartment. How did Mark know where she lived? That's her boss. That's super inappropriate.
He could just look in the files and see her address.
You think it's appropriate for a boss to go to someone's house because they just broke up with their girlfriend? I don't think so. So Ross calls Rachel and he goes, who's that in the background? And it was the boss. The guy was there after she just broke up with him. He calls to apologize. And now this guy that he was suspicious of is at Rachel's apartment.
And he was out with Chandler and them and feeling sad because he missed Rachel and then was calling to apologize. And then now he's pissed or upset because I'm assuming like that's
what would you assume? What would you assume is going on? After someone broke up with you and threw you out of their apartment on your anniversary, and now some guy's there consoling you, swooping in to the bird with a broken wing?
I think they were sleeping together and that they liked each other.
Yeah,
that's
me
what
too.
I would think.
Me too.
Okay.
So Ross, not saying this is right, sleeps with a girl that night. He gets drunk and sleeps with a girl.
Oh.
And then Rachel doesn't do anything with the boss and calls him the next morning, and the girl's still there. Okay, so that's kind of the end of the story. Then they keep fighting all day.
And then Rachel gets pissed.
And then Rachel finds out.
But then I would be really, really mad because I'd be like, I didn't do anything. You made it up in your mind that this story was going on, but it wasn't actually the story. Maybe he liked her and was putting the moves on Rachel, and Rachel wasn't doing anything, but she just wanted some Chinese food. So she's like, okay, and it's her boss. So she's like, I need to be good with my boss.
So you're taking Team Rachel?
No, I get both sides, but then once you sleep with the girl.
But he thought that she was doing the exact same thing. You know what I mean? I thought it was a nice gesture to bring you dinner because you couldn't come out. Again, we're married. This has nothing to do with our time. I just think it's a funny debate now looking back if I was in my 20s. Because it's something I would have thought in my 20s. Think about us
when I moved back to North Carolina and we were doing long distance again. And I was going back to school and you were in LA.
Don't make it so personal, okay? Let's keep this on an arm's distance. What I'm saying is that if I went out of my way to bring you dinner to your work because you couldn't have time to celebrate our anniversary, I think that's a nice gesture.
It is a nice
gesture. And then
gesture.
If I called you back after you just broke up with me and some dude is there eating Chinese food, I might have slept with that girl too.
See, that's where it crossed the line. That sex.
I'm not saying it was right, but I would assume that you were having sex with your boss.
I would think less of you and be like, ew, and gross me out.
But how could you? I think less of you that you invited your boss, which is super inappropriate. I don't care what time era we're in. And how did he know your address? You invited him over after you just kicked me out of the apartment.
But he stuck his thing in somebody, and that's gross.
He brought it to another level.
He took it to another level, and that
what was he supposed to do? Was he supposed to go home and cry about it? Thinking like, go back and tell Joey and Chandler, hey, Rachel's there with her boss eating Chinese food after she just threw me out.
But he made it up, the story in his head, and it wasn't true. If he should have called and talked to her.
He ran out of quarters. I just thought it was a funny debate. I really don't care. He should have slept with her.
What did your work say? Because y'all were divided.
Sometimes I was making good points like that. And they're like, I see what you're saying. I'm kind of split now. And
then I wouldn't want to get back with you. If you slept with somebody else, when I said I wanted break, but I wasn't sleeping with the boss and you just slept with somebody else, I would think less of you and I'd be a little grossed out by you that you were that quick to sleep with somebody.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Doesn't that sound
I'm
terrible?
not saying it's okay what he said. This is a TV show we're talking
Doesn't
about.
that sound terrible? Like when you think about that, I'm like, going back in your 20s and dealing with the fights.
Oh my God.
So annoying.
This was just on today. That's why I brought it up. And I thought it'd be funny to talk about on the podcast. When Ross runs around, which is like the comedy part of it, trying to make sure Rachel doesn't find out because he regretted it.
Yeah.
And when he runs into the coffee shop, Gunther, I don't know, I'm getting way too into details. He's like, I told Rachel. And he turns around and Rachel's like sitting in the corner, super pissed. And I was like, oh my God, that's the worst scenario ever. I'm like, I don't even want to go back to those days. Like I would never, I'm never cheating. Just watching that TV show, I'm like, oh my God, that is so uncomfortable. That's like not even hours or days. That's months of fighting right there. Like you have months of misery coming your way for one night that you just did that. Like
one night for 5 seconds of pleasure.
Months of misery. But yeah, so they broke up and I don't know if they got back together. I'll have to tune in tomorrow. But I just thought it was funny, like looking back. I'm talking about like when you're in your 20s. You know what I mean? And you're making bad decisions and you don't really know. But I think they were a little older than that on the show. But do you
ever think like your kids, like when our kids are in their 20s, and I think about them, if they were dating somebody, let's say that they met when they were 18 and they were 25 still dating, would be like, I want you to experience other people and what it's like before you settle down with just that one person. Because what if when you're in your 40s, you regret it because you only dated that one person? And some people are okay with it. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with it.
What do you want them to do? Sleep around?
No.
I don't think it's a problem these days. I think kids are...
No, I'm saying like travel, being with your guy friends, experiencing. I'm not saying sleep around. I'm just saying like talking to other women and just not being just tied down. Like when our kids are older, I don't want them to be just tied down to somebody. I want them to, like you, we didn't, I met you when you were 31. You had way more life experiences.
Yeah, I'm not worried. Well, I don't know. We'll cross that bridge, but I'm more concerned about like the heartbreak.
Oh, I know. And then I'll hate her.
Because we have kids like in our neighborhood that are all the same age. They're all cute kids, So at some point, somebody's going to mingle.
I've talked about that drunk with some of the moms. I'm like, what happens if like they're dating and somebody cheats? And then
someone gets that they're heartbroken. It's going to change the whole dynamic.
I know.
I know they're kids now. They're all playing outside. It's not going to be like that when they're older, but you know what I mean? It's just,
I just hope they all have known each other for so long that by the time they get older, nobody likes each other like that. They all look out for each other.
Yeah, that's the hope.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know how we travel down this road.
I heard everything happens in the basement. That's what a high schooler told me.
Well, we're in the basement. You want to shut this off? All right. It's good to laugh a little bit. We're going to wrap it up here. Again, guys, we're going to change that bonus episode on Fridays to Thursday. So it's going to be this Thursday. What's the day? 12th. It's going to be on the 14th at 8:30 Mountain Time, right after Big Brother airs here, I guess in the mountain region.
Yes.
So tune in for that. Please bring your questions. We're going to talk everything Big Brother just for that episode. And then we'll be back Monday, tell you about how our trip went and things like that.
Yes. My eyes twitching. Thank you for downloading, tagging your friends, subscribing. We didn't even get to voicemails today. We'll do those the next.
Maybe we'll rock some next time because you guys are still using that hotline. It's still active and we have a lot of messages that we have to get to. So maybe on the next episode, we'll knock that out and take some messages because I know you guys are very concerned again. I don't want to keep bringing it up every single episode, but thank you for all the well wishes, taking it day by day. But it's so great to get on here and laugh and get my mind off things for a little bit. So thanks for listening. Again, we'll be on Thursday, 8:30 p.m. Mountain Time, talking Big Brother. So we'll see you then.
Bye.